sort of like that side. Um, Speaking of Pat Riley, the idea, and this goes into our last topic of the night, the idea of owners having this much
Yeah,
accountability
I was
of
waiting for
of a
this one,
team.
man.
Pat Riley, we've seen the long-term effect that he's had. You look at owner like Woody Johnson, owner for the New York Jets. Jets haven't been to the playoffs in, what is it going on now? Gianni, last time they were there,
I think 16
2011,
years ago.
16 years
Yeah,
ago,
16 years ago.
longest streak in North American history. You look at a team like Jim Irsay with the Indianapolis Colts, and how the Colts have just absolutely imploded from the inside out. Should owners have more accountability when it comes to a team's implosion? Um, we'll start with you, Bam, on this one. I think the answer is goes a lot more deeper than yes, but give me your thoughts.
I think the moment where sports became, kind of monopolies and okay, we have this much amount of money. We have the most money in the league. We can do this, we can do that. Granted, I know that money is power, but when it comes to sports, it's not automatically just okay, let me throw money into this. Let me throw money. That's not how it works. So much more goes into operating a team full of grown ass men that you pay millions of dollars to. You can't just throw money at a problem and expect it to go away. When you look at teams like the Jets that have been bad for so long, or the Jaguars with Shad Khan, they swimming in money, but their teams are always bad, and they don't get any type of repercussions. You don't ever hear about, oh, this owner is this owner is that. Yes, people make fun of Woody Johnson all the time. People make fun of Shad Khan, but no consequences are given for the the complete idiocracy that they display. Like the fact that Shad Khan has kept Trent Baalke is fucking stupid. Any real football fan will tell you, you want to fire Doug Peterson? Cool. Do I necessarily feel like Doug Peterson should be gone? That's debatable. But there is absolutely no reason Trent Baalke is still employed there. He is horrible. The one of the worst GMs I've ever seen operate a team. Shad Khan keep just uh it's a revolving door of just bad GMs, bad coaches, and he don't get no flack for it. And he probably won't get flack for it. Why? Because he bought the team. He owns the team. We look at Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson has absolutely run this Jets franchise into the fucking ground. And it's not going to get any better. He talking about, I vetoed a trade for a player that I could have used because of Madden. It's a joke, but it's a laughing matter, but at the same time, it's like this is a guy that fans entrust to run a team, and you basing your decisions off Madden. Before Devontae Adams got there, you could have used Jerry Judy. That man, he got. Correct me if I'm wrong. He got 1K right now. You could have used that man opposite of Garrett Wilson before Devontae got there. Garrett Wilson and friends. You hand the ball to Brees Hall, and then it's just Garrett Wilson. So it's like, and even across sports, you look at Phoenix doing dumb shit like signing Bradley Beal. Now your team is gutted. They made Frank Vogel the scapegoat when the fact that it wasn't Frank Vogel, it was your GM and your owner that constructed that team so horribly. Jimmy Haslam. I don't have to say anything about Jimmy Haslam. We all know about Jimmy Haslam. So I say all that to say because I seen the thing with Robert Kraft really rubbed me the wrong way because he got up and said that was on me. That's my mistake. Yet Gerard Mayo still lost his job, knowing that he had his own issues, but a lot of what happened in New England was not his fault. So for Robert Kraft to go up there and Gerard Mayo to still lose his job, and it's going to be hard for him to get another job. It's going to be hard because of what Robert Kraft handed him. When stuff like that happens, and Robert Kraft gets he don't get fined, he don't get anything. It's like, what are we doing here? He gets to keep his team and repeat the same mistake. Nothing changes. And then it just trickles down. GMs get fired. Good coaches get fucking fired. Players get traded, cut. And a lot of this shit don't be their fault. It's a difference between when a team is just coached horribly or managed horribly and when they just handed shit. So I think until it's probably a long shot, but until owners get held accountable, get some type of penalties or something for the dumb shit they do across sports, we just gonna keep seeing stuff like this.
It's funny that you had mentioned, just how much owners get away with, especially in the NFL. Um, we all know about Dan Snyder, former owner for Washington Commanders, and how he basically was holding his team hostage at one point. Um, and it took a long time for him to even give up majority stake of the team. He got fired, essentially, had to give up the team because of sexual assault allegations. Those first sexual assault allegations came out in 2005 or 2006. It took a decade plus for Dan Snyder to even give up his team. So now I'm looking at every owner a bit sideways. What happens when the same cycle continues? Why do we have to be on this podcast wishing and praying that Jerry Jones drops dead so that Dallas can finally be a productive football team? Why are we looking at a team in the NBA, even a team in the NBA like we'll say, oh, what's a team that's constantly bad?
The fucking Pistons.
The Pistons. Why are we looking at the Pistons and thinking to ourselves like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's owners that have all this money and their net worth is so great. It doesn't matter and won't matter if there isn't productivity on the team. And this isn't about one season. This isn't about 2 seasons. This is a long-term issue that I think all sports have right now. Especially over teams like bad teams. Like you look at a team like the New York Jets. Like they haven't had any sort of productivity, especially when it comes to playoffs in years. I think in baseball, it it goes a long way because you can sign whoever you want to sign if you got the most money. Like Steve Cohen, hey, he threw the biggest bag on Juan Soto, and it may work out for them in the long term because they don't have cap in baseball in the MLB. In the NBA, NFL, NHL, even they have that issue, and that's the problem. Like we realize like what's when owners can't just throw money at the problem, then they become the problem themselves. It's embarrassing to say that out loud. I can only imagine what it's like being a Cowboys fan or a Jets fan or a Pistons fan or even a Kings fan, looking and searching for like just one good year of success. A Commanders fan. Like I shit you not. I think me and Gianni we joke about it a lot. How Commanders always treat our games like it's the Super Bowl. It's because they haven't had success. They don't know what success looks like. No, that's not an insult. They legit don't know what success looks like because their team's been trash over the last 20 years. So I think it's when it pertains to owners, yeah, there needs to be a lot more owners held accountable. There needs to be a better system in place for people that actually care about the team and are not just looking at another cash grab or another money grab or another stock grab, or you want to call it, to run a team. It takes away from the watchability of a sport. You know, another we were talking about it just a couple of weeks ago with the NBA. In another couple of years, what's the NBA going to look like without LeBron, Steph and KD? What are these owners going to do? What are these teams going to do to help increase the views? We don't know. We don't know. I think there are definitely owners right now that are complacent. They are okay with just their teams being trash, but they get shown every year, and that's okay as long as they get a check. And the NFL helps with that, with all their 10 million TV streaming deals. Silver helps with that with all their 10 million TV streaming deals. All these apps that you have to download when it comes to Amazon and Tubi and Hulu and Disney Plus and Netflix and Amazon Prime. Like you got this all connects. It all connects, and it's going to benefit the people in front offices. It's going to benefit owners across all sports, and then it becomes an even bigger issue than just going past sports. Who just got elected as president of the United States, and is going to help said owners, going to help people like Jerry Jones continue to get away with shit like this. It's bigger. It's definitely bigger than sports. But on the nucleus at the center of it all, yeah, owners need to be held way more accountable than what they are. Mook.
Man, when you think about bad owners, man, there's a lot that come to mind. You obviously have people like the Bengals owner. Bengals owner. You have people like um, Ted Leonis with the Wizards. Um, there's just a lot of bad ownership out there that really only cares about the check. That's why it's really refreshing to see turnarounds like um, people like the Commanders. Commanders were in a downtrodden state. Like, take it from me as a person from Virginia, you know, there's like almost if you it's pretty much either you got Cowboy, I mean you got some Cowboys fans, but for the majority of it, you got Commanders, Ravens, sprinkle a little bit of Eagles in there somewhere, but like honestly, it's Commanders, Ravens, in my opinion, that I feel like dominates it. And they were sticking through a lot of BS. When you look at what Dan Snyder, the black shadow that he cast over that team, and then you fast forward and see what the ownership looks like now, and how it's like you got genuine passion, and these guys want to win. Like, I don't think people really understand how much that factors in, man. When you have, you know, go from Dan Snyder to now you're looking at Josh Harris. Granted, dude was definitely drunk preseason when they was interviewing, bro. But you know
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying?
sounded
Hey,
drunk.
you just bought a team, buddy. Go ahead and do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You own the stadium. You know what I'm saying? But things like that where you genuinely like you look at the turnaround from Donald Sterling to Steve Ballmer. Steve Ballmer said hell with being little brother to the Lakers. Now, granted, they'll never be the big brother, but hell, the first step is getting your own stadium. They got that state of the art stadium arena, and it's a whole different type of aura over that whole franchise now. Now, granted, you don't have the star player like Kawhi that's able to suit up every single game, but
That's not
this
on
is
him.
step
He can't do
one.
nothing about that.
That's step one. Just go ahead and get us a building. They got the fan. They literally have a section just for you can only be in that section if you are a real fan, standing up, screaming, cheering, booing, whatever the whole time. Like that increases the fan engagement. So he's looking at it for one. He's a fan first, and then he's an owner second. Like he's understanding. Okay, this is what I would want to see. This is what the fans are looking for. I'm gonna give the fans what they want, man, and then I'm gonna give them a little bit more on top of that. Like that is real ownership, in my opinion. that's when that's like it's becoming almost a symbiosis kind of like relationship where the fans, ownership, hell, the players, they're all meshing together to create this great product that honestly, as a sports fan, I love to see. As a Laker fan, I hate that shit. I hate to see them flourish. I hate to see it. But honestly, as a fan of the game, a fan of like just great ownership in the league, and to see where they came from for Donald Sterling, I mean, golly, it's night and day, bro. Like, it's great to see that. And you understand how much ownership means when you look at it from that level, man. Like, uh, you have so many different teams that I feel like are being sold and just, I mean, prime example, bro. Like, yes, Jerry Jones does get both butts in the seats every single season. He sells the same fake ass dream, and Dallas Cowboy fans cannot get enough of it. Hell, I can't get enough of it. I love to tune in and see the Cowboys failure. I mean, any given Sunday, we're about to have Bam on the grill. We should do an episode where Bam is literally just on the grill, just grilling out for the fall of the Dallas Cowboys. That is how much I want to see them fall. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like a wrestler turning heel. It's like literally anything. Like you tune in, you want to see where this goes. Like, okay, like there's no way this shit is like, but it's intriguing. And he's selling that product every year. But then you look at not only is he the owner, dude's trying to be the GM. He said, hey, I bought the team. This is what I want to do. You cannot be that tone deaf, in my opinion, as an owner. You can't just be, oh, yeah, like I own all this. You have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to leave it to the pros. You have to listen to the fans. Brother, nobody in their right mind wanted to see a Deuce Vaughn and Ezekiel Elliott backfield, brother. I mean, that's just not what the fans were looking for. I mean, come on, bro. Um, things like that where you honestly you can see what separates the good ownership, like you know, Steve Ballmer, like I touched on. Hell, I mean, you look at just all of the teams that truly have that great ownership, and it's just like, man, you have to first be engaged with the fans, bro. You have to be connected, and if you're not, then it's gonna fall flat on its face,
You have
bro.
to
Like,
be a fan. You said it
yeah,
earlier. A lot of these owners, they just buy the teams. They got money. It's a
yeah,
cash cow.
that's all
Very
it is.
rarely are these owners fans of the team that they buy,
No,
and that's why we had a type of product we be having.
yeah. So I think that going forward, I would love to see actual owners just you know, I don't know what the hell people like Mark Davis and we touched on excuse me, the Bengals and Browns ownership situation. It's rough, man. Woody Johnson, it's a rough landscape right now, in my opinion, man. And you can tell the teams that are honestly led the proper way, teams like the Chiefs, who, bro, like look at the culture. Look at the culture there. Hell, even the culture in Green Bay. I mean, look at the culture in Philadelphia. Baltimore's culture.
Shit, you look
I
at
mean,
the reason the Packers are like that because the city
the
owns the
fans,
Packers. The
the
fans own the
fans.
Packers.
That's the culture. Like that's the thing they established from the day one. And that's what I feel like teams should model themselves after. Not saying let the fans, but that's the crux of what I'm saying. You have to be a fan first, bro. You cannot jump into this, oh yeah, I want to own a team and not be passionate about sports, not know what the hell is going on. You have to have some type of direction or it's gonna fall flat on its face every single time, bro. You're gonna be uh Woody Johnson every single time. And that's not a position that anybody should ever want to find themselves in. I mean, obviously he's stinking rich. He's filthy rich. But as far as being a competent NFL owner and actually having a respectable franchise, the New York Jets are the epitome of a badly ran franchise. Every single year, you can count on it. It doesn't matter if it's Brett Favre walking through that door. It doesn't matter if it's Aaron Rodgers walking through that door, Devontae Adams walking through that door. It just doesn't matter. If the ownership is bad from top down, it's going to be a bad thing. So fan first, be an owner second, and learn how to delegate that shit, bro. Don't take all the responsibility.
Gianni, Tolu, anything that?
I want to add something. Like Woody Johnson, man, like him saying that Jerry Judy is not worth a trade because of man rating is laughable. Honestly, I really wish that some of these owners, man, just get accountability, man, because really, like how you got, like Mook said, like Jerry Jones, like his decision making too is just rough. And then Dan Snyder, like that era for Washington was just horrible, man. Just like I don't even know like how to put it completely in words, but like it was just embarrassing, awful. Like the fans deserve better. Now with under new ownership, you see things are starting to turn around. They got their franchise quarterback and everything. And like I feel like some of these teams that are just terrible just need new owners, really. You just need some change, something to change, especially like the Jets. Woody Johnson needs to go, man, because if they get a new ownership, things are going to look different maybe for them. Because you never know. It could look at Washington right now. So like, Woody Johnson is just terrible. And like that if you have bad ownership, it's gonna affect top down, like Mook said. It's gonna affect top down. It doesn't matter if you have like the best team ever, like the best names, the biggest names ever. If you don't have good ownership, it doesn't matter because nothing's gonna work at the end of the day. Because that franchise is just like not cursed, but like in a way that it's not functioning well, basically. Maybe it's cursed, but like it's not functioning well. Like like Washington, and then the other team, Cleveland. Cleveland is just a lost case, in my opinion. Really, like I just don't see it with them, honestly. Even new ownership comes in, I just don't see it. That's one franchise I can tell you in the NFL that probably never going to figure out. 40 different starting quarterbacks that have that's just insane to me. We can do a list like what we did with TK, the Bronco list. The Browns list probably gonna take like an hour.
The Broncos list it originated from the Browns list.
Yeah, that's true. But if you do the Browns list, man, it's gonna take like an hour basically. That's how bad it is.
That would be a whole church service, and maybe.
And they're about to have
Okay.
another different starting quarterback after this draft.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Sad.
Unreal.
Yeah, owners, when it pertains to sportsmen, do better. Do better.
They got to do better with their health service too, because their health, like bro, the financial health of franchises is trash, bro. I'm going to do with the Los Angeles Lakers, for example, because these people were telling me that Jared Vanderbilt was going to return in the playoffs. Meanwhile, this man hasn't even touched the court all season long. I mean, the Lakers medical facility is so bad, bruh. When I'm telling you, when they say a player's injured for 2 days, it's usually like 3 or 2 months when it comes to the Lakers. It's bad. Your financial aid is trash. Jeannie Buss is a cheap owner. I mean, you guys basically touched it. I mean, it's terrible. Bam. No. But anyways, yeah. Like financial health is terrible. Everything is terrible. Owners, do better. Do better.